What's up, folks? It's Brad Dacus, aka my man Brad, and I am doing a live interview today with the woman that has been an inspiration in this business to me, and she's actually skyrocketed just as of late. We came into this opportunity kind of at the same time, but we're on an international call from Vancouver, British Columbia, and I want to introduce you all to Iulia Tutor. What's up, Iulia?
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much for having me on here. I freaking love your energy, man. You're just a bright light, you know, and anytime anybody interacts with you could probably say the same. You have a good heart, you have great intentions, and it's really a pleasure to work with you, honestly. I mean that.
Oh, I appreciate it. So let's get right to it. First, I want to find out from you, what made you get interested in this particular opportunity or this particular group that we're involved in?
Spinning my wheels for way too damn long. And if I could say that in short, you know, to be honest, Brad, I've been trying to figure this thing out for quite some time. Okay. You know, originally, just to give you a little background of how I even got here is, you know, I didn't think I was going to be an entrepreneur. I was going to be a psychologist. I was going to go to grad school, you know, do the traditional thing, make my parents proud. But what happened is I had spine surgery. So I couldn't go forward because I couldn't sit for long periods of hours, right? So, you know, I was sad, but it actually pushed me into entrepreneurship. So there's been a lot of things that I've tried before I got here, okay? And if you can relate to this story, I encourage you to maintain that resiliency because it has a purpose. So for instance, I had my own personal training business. Turns out I don't like working with the body. I like working with people's minds more. That's more my passion, you know? And then I found network marketing and I'm like, oh, this is it. You know, I'm going to be rich, you know? Like this is my vehicle, you know? And, you know, okay, yes, I was, you know, I could recruit. I did the home meetings, the home parties. I was actually spending a lot of money doing these things and not getting a lot in return. I didn't realize you needed a massive team to actually even make like a couple $1,000s a month. And I wasn't really duplicating, you know, because we were using a features and benefits model, which we can go into if you'd like. And it doesn't work that effectively in this industry. But what really hit the fan is that the company had a major lawsuit. And you keep seeing this in this industry over and over again, like them dropping just like flies, you know? So, you know, all this work that I did, like it was like pretty much a whole year of building affiliates and customers, gone. Why? Because I was branding the company. I wasn't branding myself, right? So I lost credibility because the company lost credibility. So here I was again, starting from zero, you know? And then I'm like, okay, screw this industry. I'm just going to do the traditional brick and mortar business. You know, so my brother and I opened up our property maintenance business, and you know, it sounds glamorous doing your own business, but you literally buy yourself another job. Okay, so I was basically doing door-to-door sales to maintain my workers with work, right? Door-to-door sales, like rain or shine, right? Hard work. And you know, I was even doing the labor sometimes. I was even doing the customer service. I was doing the marketing, the accounting. Like I was literally the lady with 7 hats. Right? But the part that really sucked was that me and my brother started fighting a lot. And it's family business, and especially Romanians, we love you, we hate you, you'll know, right? So he one day just decided, you know what? I'm shutting this business down. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I invested so much time and energy and money, and now this is gone too. At this point, I was fed up. And I'm like, all right, I'm jobless now. I'm just going to swallow my pride and go to a corporate job. And I had like no soul there. Like I was miserable. Mm-hmm. You know, basically I was in a cubicle jail cell with someone breathing over my neck, telling me what to do, when I can clock in, clock out by the freaking second, you know. And not only that, not only was I not spiritually and emotionally fulfilled, I basically was in a lot of pain. You know, I couldn't sit. Remember, I couldn't do that. So here I was sitting 8 to 10 hours in a chair. And, you know, I just snapped, Brad. Mm-hmm. I really snapped because I was making like $200-300 a month, right? There would go sometimes a week where I had zero in my bank account. I couldn't even get a freaking coffee. right? And then my boss tells me, because at this point, because I was in so much pain, my performance at work started going downhill. I started showing up late. I started having more sick days. My performance in sales was decreasing. So I was in pain, right? And then she brings me into the office to tell me that, oh, we're going to suspend your raise. I was like, are you kidding me? You mean I'm going to have to go another month of this hell? No, right? I ran to the bathroom. I was like bawling my eyes out. And I was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't be just surviving. That's not my purpose, to just, work, pay the bills and freaking die. Like, come on, we're bigger than that. So I had to draw the line in the sand, because throughout this time, I was doing the whole online marketing thing on the side, trying to figure it out. I was blogging, I was, making like YouTube videos. I was doing everything the company was telling me to do, yet I wasn't making enough to quit my job. Yet I invested like thousands of dollars. So I'm like, something isn't working. If you're watching this right now and you're looking at your life and you're like, this is where I'm at and I'm not happy, clearly the way you've been acting, thinking, behaving isn't working for you. So sometimes you got to be pushed over so far to the edge. Unfortunately, humans are motivated by pain to create change. If the fire's hot, you're like, oh crap, can't do that, right? You have to go through that. So I drew the line in the sand. I called my millionaire mentor and I said, Darren, I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't have the resources. You know what? But I'm going to figure it out. Why? Because I'll tell you what I do have, and that's determination, right? I want to live for a living. I want to thrive for a living, right? And to me, you know what decided me to go this route specifically with this group of amazing people? It's not as impressive to me to see, oh, someone's a millionaire and he knows how to do things. I mean, that's freaking amazing that someone can accomplish that. But to me, what's impressive is, can you take the little guy, the average guy, that's got zero marketing experience, zero business experience, but they have a dream, they have a drive. Can you take that person and make them into something, right? If you can show me that, I'm all yours. And that's exactly what I saw. I saw freaking kids, 17 years old, make $35,000 in month one. What business or marketing experience does a 17-year-old have? Right? I saw a homeless man, homeless on the street, hooked to drugs, right? Obviously, he took a longer time to have his breakthrough, but guess what? In 6 months, he was able to generate $20,000 a month. And not only that, he took what he learned and now created his own network marketing company. So I'm like, that's what I want. I want to make a big impact in people's lives. I want to create a big transformation, right? And that to me is impressive, because this isn't a business or a marketing group. It's a movement. And I'll tell you who really makes it. It's the people that are either going through a breakdown period in their life or they're in transition. Because the people that are fed up enough, those are the ones that will do whatever it takes, right? You're hungry, you got the work ethic, but you need the right mentorship. You need the right strategy. You need to dig deep and clear your blocks, because we really went quantum. Before I had my breakthrough, it was internal work, my friend.
Right.
I was like snot and tears, but it was worth it. It was worth facing those inner demons and self-doubt and lack of self-love, those self-worth issues, coupled with strategy. That's how you get liftoff, right?
So being that you mentioned liftoff, and obviously we're with an incredible group of people. That was the same reason I joined. I saw the Millionaire Mentoring. I saw the results. I saw that there were a good group of people. But what I want to find out from you is, what allowed you to get to your breakthrough, and what kind of income did you make as you transitioned and made that breakthrough?
Love it. Well, you know what? Number one, you have to be coachable. Okay, you have to drop your ego and you have to have a high willingness to learn. Having a high willingness to learn, what does that mean? What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up time? Are you willing to give up resources? Are you willing to give up money? Right? Are you willing to give up your old beliefs? Right? Because when you do that, then you have a high willingness to learn. And you have to be pushed so far to the edge where, you're ready for that breakthrough. So what did I do to get that breakthrough? Number one, I know this sounds weird, but I actually had to love myself. And a lot of people don't recognize this. When you say, oh, of course I love myself. I'm confident Iulia, But when I practiced affirmations in the mirror and I looked myself in the eyes, of the windows of the soul, I started to cry. And I realized that I love myself, but conditionally, right? See, the problem is that we are fighting ourselves. We think it's us versus the world, but it's actually us versus ourselves. And we don't love each other enough to feel worthy of success, right? So you really have to dig deep and do that internal work to eliminate those energy blocks in your heart. And when you're in business, when you're interacting with people, guess what? They can sense your energy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking for the sale and you're like, oh my God, like I feel so uncomfortable. Why would anyone feel comfortable buying from you, right? You have to get rid of those blocks first. And when I did that, coupled with the right strategy, because I think mindset first, strategy, couple that together, then you have liftoff, right? And literally, because of what we're learning, I started making it more effortlessly. Because we learn how to become an authority, because we learn how to become the attractor factor, because we know how to bring people in, because of the tremendous value we put up front, which is actually solving the pain points of the industry, not the product. That's a huge, huge marketing tip. That's how you become, a top producer.
Yeah.
Right? So applying the strategy, my very first 5 days, I made $3,000. Okay. Within 12 days, I made over $6,000. I even had a $3,000 day now. And now I've ended with $11,768 in less than 3 months.
Say that one more time.
11,768. Had to practice that one.
11,368. 768.
Almost 12K.
Wow. Well, congratulations. I mean, that's phenomenal, because I remember vividly when you first kind of stepped into your leadership and you came online and were literally crying. And that's when I knew this is the real deal. Yeah, I've seen stories. Yeah, I've talked to some people, but being that I saw you specifically at that turning point is ultimately why we even started talking and we started reaching out to one another, because I knew it was genuine and I knew it was real.
And you know what? That's what people connect to, is vulnerability. People are like, well, how am I going to do this social media thing? Like, I'm not perfect. Well, thank God you're not. People think you're weird. No one would be able to relate to you if you're like this suit and tie and you're like, you never say ums, you never say buts, you never breathe in between your lines. And it's just like weird. Like nobody relates to that. Be real, be you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what people are looking for, is a real human-to-human connection. And I do want to talk about a little bit about some marketing tips, because the reason why a lot of people are failing in this industry is because they're being company cheerleaders, right? And if you're not, a six-figure income earner in that company, and if this person really wants to join your business, guess what they're going to do? They're going to join the leaders.
Yep.
Because those leaders could take them to where they want to be, right? So what do you do if you're brand new, no experience, you haven't made an income yet, you don't have results to show for it? You need to market to the pain points of the industry versus the product itself. So if you think about what are the pains, what are people struggling with, right? Number one, they're told to chase their friends and family, right? This is traditional network marketing. And maybe grandma and cousin aren't the right business builders for you, just maybe, you know? And you'll quickly realize that because they're told to target the population that is maybe okay with being an employee. Nothing wrong with that. But if you go up to them and you're like, hey man, like you gotta quit your job, you gotta fire your boss, you're gonna be your own boss. People are like, I don't know, that sounds like a lot of work. Or, I'm okay with my paycheck to paycheck, right? So why are we going after these people? Why? Right? So you're probably burned through your list and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna make new friends now. I'm gonna go to the restaurants and then you get this nice waitress and you're like, oh hey, like you got good, great customer service. You know, have you ever keep your options open, making an extra income? Guys, we've all heard these lines before, you know? And even if you force her to give your number, she might answer, might not. And even if she does show up to your meetings, you know, she might not even sign up because you're going after the wrong people. And at this point, they're like, I'll go online. That's what I'll do. There's billions of people there, you know? And then you're still using the features and benefits moment. Here's my product. Here's my vitamins. Did you know it's going to make your skin glow? Oh, you're going to look 10 years younger. What do people, they get so much rejection. Like it's painful. And what pisses me off is that the sponsors are like, or the mentors are like, oh, it's a numbers game. You haven't had enough no's yet. Really? That sucks. You know, like, why don't you just talk to the right numbers?
Yeah.
Might be a better idea, right? But people don't understand that. How do you attract the right people, right? So at this point, I mean, you're having a hell of a time trying to, you couldn't recruit a soul if your life depends on it, right? Mm-hmm. And how are you gonna have any team duplication? So these are the pain points of the industry. If you're new, and if you wanna be seen a leader in this industry, you wanna attract business builders, affiliates, you need to market to these pain points. So it is your duty to get educated on how to solve these pain points so that you can attract entrepreneurs. And how do you attract entrepreneurs? Well, what are entrepreneurs doing? They're studying personal development, because 90% of success is mindset. You haven't figured that out yet. And marketing, because you don't have a business. Doesn't matter what product tool you have if you don't know how to market it, as if it doesn't exist. So you need to speak the language of these niches to attract these people into your business. And it's the same psychology if you want to attract customers. You don't talk about the product, you talk about the pain that the product can solve. Mm-hmm.